So, Jaguar then. They've certainly had their ups and downs. The glories of the Mark II, the E-Type, and the original XJ6 were followed by the outmoded Series 3, the disastrous XJ40, and the glorious failure that was the XJ220. But miracles can happen, and in the last 10 years, with Ford's help, things have just gone from strength to strength. You'd have thought they'd have been satisfied by now. But even all of that isn't enough, because now Jaguar is squaring up to its biggest challenge of all by entering one of the most competitive market sectors against the BMW 3 Series and the Mercedes C-Class, with this new compact sports saloon, the X-Type. So, whatever's under here is going to have to be pretty special. The X-Type is the quickest turnaround project in Jaguar's history. And even though we've been granted this exclusive first look around, we can't drive the car until next spring. Jaguar says prices will vary between £20,000 and £25,000, and all models will be four-wheel drive with a choice of 2.5 or 3-litre V6 power. Inside, well, there are the usual Jaguar cues. There's leather in the seats, there's wood in the dashboard, and it has a traditional atmosphere. As for the dash layout, well, it seems to me to be a clever distillation of XJ and XK8, and personally, I prefer it to the much more recent S-Type model. Jaguar wouldn't let us film the inside in detail, but we certainly got to have a proper poke around the outside. No one at the company seems quite ready to get too radical, so the new car has an XJ nose married to an S-Type rear. But why bother at all?
We want to try and attract younger buyers and a much greater audience, and the best way to do that is expand the range into something that's more attainable. When you're going into a new market, you need to establish it with something that people recognise. So part of the brief for this car is it had to be undoubtedly a Jaguar, and it's recognisable as a Jaguar. Jaguar's been very successful in the last few years. It's doubled its volume in the last 2 or 3 years. This car will double its volume again.
If I have, say, £20,000 to £25,000 burning a hole in my pocket, and I've got C-Class, 3 Series, A4 on my shopping list, and this, why should I buy this?
Well, I think this car, above all, will give you soul and character. That's the essence that this car has relative to its competitors.
The X-Type is supposed to be the attainable Jaguar. It's going to be aimed at, you know, young, professional, 30-ish, someone a bit like, well, me actually, someone who might be thinking of starting a family one day. So the question is, does it appeal to me, and would I have one? Well, yes it does, and I probably would. And if I needed any more persuading, how about this? Jaguar have just released these shots of their new baby's first outing. As I said, we'll all have to wait until next spring to see if it drives as well as it looks. But you won't have to wait that long to see a Ferrari on top gear.